Imagine a world where the sword never falls silent, where castles still stand as unbreakable fortresses, where kings kneel before knights, not soldiers with rifles. This is a world without gunpowder, and it very nearly happened. 900 years ago, in Tang Dynasty China, a group of alchemists weren't looking for a weapon. They were searching for something else entirely, the elixir of life. Instead, mixing sulfur, charcoal, and saltpeter, they created something else, an explosion. They called it Huo Yao, fire medicine. It should have stayed a curiosity, but it didn't. Now, picture a different timeline, one where that mixture never ignites, where the formula is lost, forgotten, or simply never found. At first, almost nothing changes. China still has silk, still has trade, still has empires, but somewhere, deep in its arsenals, a weapon that should exist doesn't. No fire lances, no thunder crash bombs, no flying fire crows streaking across the sky. The Mongols still ride west, still conquer, still terrify, but they carry bows, not bombs. Without gunpowder crossing the Silk Road, the Islamic world never receives it either. No hand cannons in Ottoman hands, and that changes everything that comes next. 1553, Constantinople. In our world, Ottoman cannons shattered the ancient walls of the Byzantine capital in weeks. In this world, the walls hold. Constantinople doesn't fall the same way. Or maybe not at all. Byzantium lingers, a ghost of Rome refusing to die. In Europe, castles remain what they always were, unbreakable. Kings still need knights. Knights still need castles. Castles still need armies of nobles, not soldiers with muskets. Feudalism doesn't collapse in a century. It survives, maybe for another 500 years. In our history, three great empires rose almost entirely on the back of gunpowder: the Ottomans, the Safavids, and the Mughals. Historians even have a name for them: the Gunpowder Empires. Their cannons didn't just win battles, they built thrones. Take that weapon away, and those empires may never rise the same way. Without them, the balance of power across Asia, the Middle East, and Eastern Europe looks entirely different. Picture a blacksmith in this world. Let's call him Ren. He hammers swords, not rifles. Shields, not shells. His grandfather made swords. His son will make swords too. War, for Ren's world, is still personal, still close, still fought face to face, blade against blade. There is no musket line, no cannon barrage from a mile away. Battles are slower, bloodier in their own way, but smaller. Armies can't be armed cheaply and quickly the way gunpowder allowed, so armies stay small, elite, expensive. And that means kings can't outmuscle their nobles the way they did in our history. Power stays scattered, fragmented, local. Now think bigger, beyond Europe. In 1492, Columbus reaches the Americas. In our history, steel and gunpowder gave a small number of Europeans a devastating advantage. In this world, that advantage shrinks. No arquebuses, no ship-mounted cannons blasting coastal cities into ruins. Empires like the Aztec and the Inca don't fall in a handful of years to a few hundred men. The age of exploration itself slows. Wooden ships without cannon can still cross oceans, but they can't dominate them. Colonization, if it happens at all, happens slower, messier, more contested. The map of the world, centuries later, might look nothing like the one we know. There's another cost too, one most people never think about. Gunpowder didn't just build armies, it built roads, canals, and mines. Blasting powder tore through mountains for railways and tunnels that would otherwise take decades by hand. Without it, mining stays slow. Shafts are dug by pick and muscle, not explosion. Quarries expand inch by inch, not blast by blast. The entire pace of construction and engineering slows down with it. Even celebration changes. In our history, the same chemistry that built weapons also lit up festival skies with fireworks. In this world, festivals stay dark, torches and bonfires instead of bursts of color overhead. Back in his village, Ren grows old the way his father did. For 6 centuries, this world doesn't move fast. It moves human, slow, deliberate, and hard-won. But here's the twist. Gunpowder wasn't the only path to power. Somewhere, in a world without it, someone else eventually stumbles onto something just as dangerous. Maybe it's not saltpeter and sulfur. Maybe, centuries later, a chemist experimenting with nitrogen compounds finally unlocks an explosive of his own. The fuse gets lit. Just later. 300 years later. Maybe 500. And when it finally arrives, it doesn't trickle in slowly the way it did in our history. It arrives all at once, sudden, explosive, in every sense. An entire world still built on castles and knights suddenly has to catch up in a single generation. Ren never sees it. Neither does his son or his son's son. But somewhere down the line, one of his descendants stands on a wall that has protected his family for 600 years and watches it fall in an afternoon. Gunpowder didn't just build our modern world, it built it early, and in a world without it, humanity might still be waiting for war to catch up to itself.